Hey guys, welcome to a Let's Configure OpenLM workshop. Now today we'll be installing OpenLM, we'll be configuring the core product of OpenLM, we'll configure the OpenLM Server, the OpenLM Broker, and the OpenLM Agent. Now this will be a full configuration workshop, so I should suggest if you don't have OpenLM installed yet, or if you have it installed, you can go over the configurations. We will not be going over each and every checkbox. We will be going over the process of installation for the OpenLM core product. Okay, so let's jump in. I'll just share my face. Now, if you have any questions, you want to know anything, you can simply ask using the questions box. There's like a chat box in GoToWebinar. You can just use that, no problem. So let's jump right in. Let's see how OpenLM is installed, how easy it is to install. Okay, so first of all, you got your license servers. You probably got hundreds of license servers or tens of license servers. Now on them you probably have a few vendors. You might have CATIA, MATLAB, Autodesk, SolidWorks, Solided, whatever. So all you need to do is simply install the OpenLM Broker on the license server itself. Now what the OpenLM Broker does, it simply sends information to the OpenLM server, to the OpenLM core. Now this is the basic structure. That's it. It's like broker on the license server, the core on the network server, and that's it. All the brokers transmit information to the OpenLM core. But you can get more out of your core product. Maybe you didn't know, but you can also install the OpenLM Agent on the workstations themselves. Now, why would you want to do that? You have all the monitoring that you want. You have the broker on the license server. It's reporting on license usage. Why would I want to put it on the workstations? Well, if you want added functionality, if you want extra functionality, well, you'll need to install the OpenLM Agent on the workstations. So this is basically the core product. We will be able to install a full system from start to finish within the half an hour, 40 minutes I have planned for us today. So let's jump right in. Let's go to my demo system right here. Now, first of all, you'll need to go to the OpenLM website. So you simply go to www.openlm.com and you go to the downloads section right here. Under the download section, you can download OpenLM. This is the OpenLM server, and if you scroll down, you'll see the OpenLM Broker, both for Linux and Windows. So simply download. So I've already downloaded it. I have it downloaded. I'm going to simply install it. So first thing that we need to do is we need to locate all our license servers. So I got a license server here. This is a license server, the blue one, and the black one is my OpenLM server. So what should we do? Well, first of all, we install the OpenLM server on the network server. So just double click. Now click next. Agree, of course, read the whole thing. Yeah, right. Next, next, and next again. It might ask you for permissions once or twice. Simply approve it, and it will start installing OpenLM. Now, this is the OpenLM server. It requires a license file. It requires OpenLM sales team to issue you a license file. So during the installation of OpenLM, the installer will ask you for the license file. It will ask you for a place or for your credentials. And with that, you can be issued a license, an evaluation license. So you see it's pretty easy, just next, 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 and then it asks us if we want light or evaluation. So we're interested in evaluation now. Start evaluation, but I do have a license file. I'll click on that, choose File, and I'll select my file. This is my site license. After it's chosen, I just click Next. It will go out to the license, copy it, and put it in place. Now, I won't click Configure Now just yet. I'll just close this. So now we have the OpenLM core product installed. So now we want to install the OpenLM Broker on the license server. So all that we need to do is simply go to the license server, take the installation of the broker, and double click. Now this again is a simple next installation. You might be asked to install a new instance, modify, or maybe upgrade an instance. So I'm going to install a new one. So of course agree, next, choose the place. So for me, because I already have one, it will be broker 2. So next. Here you will also be asked for a number of permissions, but the installation of it is very straightforward, very quick. It takes less than a minute to install the OpenLM Broker. It can also be installed using a script. You can just silently install it, you can remotely install it. Okay, and that's it. Now all we need to do is do a search for broker. You got the broker configuration tool. But let's say that we don't find it, so you simply need to open your programs, go to OpenLM, and then open up your broker configuration tool. So my broker is broker 2. Now the OpenLM Broker will configure itself. You see it's detecting different configuration. It's looking for different ports. So it found port 600 and port 810. Now both are FlexLM. The broker can automatically detect FlexLM, DSLS, LMX, RLM, and RMS. The rest you'll need to configure yourself. So what are the parts that you'll need to configure? We have it already all configured, but if you'll need to do that manually, what will you need to do? So let's take a look at all the parts. First of all, let's take a look at this port. So they got the port number, the license type, and this is the license file path. Let's take a look at the license file. What is the license file? The license file is something that the vendor gave you. It holds the packages that you have, which features you have inside, and how many and when they expire. All this information is taken in by OpenLM. So this is set on the port right here under Advanced. You can either set the path manually, then add it, or not. In any case, watch the license file every 300 seconds for changes. Then click Apply, and let's move on. Now, if we go to Status and Data Inquiry, we see that it is using some kind of file. It's using an LMUtil. Now, an LMUtil is something that LM Tools uses. It's the executable file of the license manager. So OpenLM Broker uses that LMUtil. It can use its own default LMUtil, but it's always better to point it to the right vendor supplied LMUtil. So you can take the path of the LMUtil and just put it here under commands and update. Now this will update the status, data inquiry, reread, all those. It will just simply update them automatically. If you open status or data inquiry and you see that this is not the correct LMUtil, this points to the OpenLM LMUtil, then you need to change that. Now what do I see in status and data inquiry? I see if my license server is up and running, if OpenLM Broker can monitor that license server. So status, the status if it's up or down, and data inquiry, which shows you all the sessions and all the licenses you have. Next, under vendors, you can click add vendor, and you could add a new vendor, ADSK Flex. This is the Autodesk vendor. And you can add your options file. So I just clicked browse, and I want to select the FlexLM, the Autodesk options file. So I navigate to there, select options file, watch options file, and that's it. The options file will be compiled into the OpenLM system. And all the users you have there and groups will be compiled. All the rules will be compiled into OpenLM. Log files, finally, is you can add a log file right here. And this is the debug log. From the debug log, OpenLM takes denials, OpenLM it validates information, it gets errors from there. So it's very useful. If you don't have denials for some reason in your EasyAdmin, probably because you don't have your debug log configured. So make sure it's pointing to the right log file. We choose the vendor that we just created and apply. And after we're done, we can restart Broker. Now there's one thing that we missed. We set up the port, meaning the license manager, but we didn't set up the OpenLM server. So we'll need to click here, OpenLM servers, add OpenLM server, and we'll change it to point to our OpenLM server. So I pointed to Win10 demo, click check connectivity, and it's successful. So again, I apply and restart. Now, let's go back to the OpenLM server machine, this one, the black one. We have OpenLM server installed here. We have the broker installed on the license manager, but we didn't configure anything on the OpenLM server. The good thing is that you don't need to. First of all, let's open up the interface of OpenLM. So simply go to the applications, go to OpenLM, and open up the OpenLM user interface. Now this is the OpenLM. It's a web interface, but it points to a local location, local host in this case. You can even take this path and just take it outside to your workstation or any other connected workstation. You'll just need to change the name right here, Win10 demo, and it will connect no matter where you are. Okay, so let's see how we can configure it. So let's close these two, and we see two red lines. So all we need to do is click approve. Now this is MATLAB, approve, and click approve on the second one. And this is Autodesk. So I save, and I don't see anything yet. I don't see quantity, I don't see anything. And I have like an exclamation point mark right here. That means that we need to restart the OpenLM server service. So just open up the Windows services, do a search for OpenLM server, and restart the service. Now that's it. Now it doesn't show to be seem to be working because it takes anywhere between 2 to 5 minutes to initially configure it. It gets all the information from the broker, it deposits it in the database, but it takes between 2 to 5 minutes. So we'll come back to that. What I want to show you now is how to add functionalities to OpenLM core product without buying extensions, just with the active agent itself, with the agent itself. So the agent is, again, on our website. You can just go to openlm.com, go to the download section, and on the bottom right here you can see the OpenLM agent. Simply download and install it. Now, how do we install? There are a few ways. We can do the manual way, as you're about to see, or we can just use a batch file and run that, and it will silently install the agent on my machine. Now, this can be run using a group policy, meaning GPO, or the Windows option, the SCCM. However you choose, you can roll it out to many machines from a central place. So the active agent, let's double click on it. And again, next, agree, next. Now this will try and find any extensions that we know of on your machine. So I have on this machine AutoCAD installed, so it found AutoCAD. If I had SolidWorks installed, it would find SolidWorks. So click next. App Manager, well, I'm not interested in App Manager right now, so click next. And click next again. Now this will also ask for a few permissions, but it's really fast. It takes about 10 seconds and it's done. Now this popped up here, the agent configuration tool. This simply wants us to point it to the OpenLM server, because if you remember, all the workstations have OpenLM agents which transmit all together to the OpenLM core, to the OpenLM server. So you just need to point it in the right place. Now, I installed it on the same machine as OpenLM server. But if we go to my machine right here, it's also on this machine, and it's also connected to that same place. Now you can install it, as I said, on all the machines that you want to monitor. Now, which functionalities do we get when installing the agent? We're supposed to get extra functionality. Now, the main functionality we see the quantity. If someone was using right now, we would have seen the usage. For example, let's pull an AutoCAD license, and we will be able to see ourselves here. We can see all the reports, the license usage, the license utilization. Everything is here. It still doesn't have any data because I just configured OpenLM. It's now starting to get information. But besides that, besides all the reports that you get from OpenLM, besides the core value of it, what else do you get? What else do you get with the agent? With the core product, meaning that right now you can install it and fool around with it. You don't need permission, you don't need sales for it. So let's take a look. What can it do? Now, I am currently on my workstation. This is my workstation. Now, I have OpenLM Agent installed, and it's pointing to the Win10 demo I just installed. So I'm able to open license usage information as an end user. Now, as an end user, it gives me a lot of power, because then I know who is using the applications that I need. So let me give you an example. let me try and point this to demo v4. This is another demo system I have, and this is a live running demo system. And it will show me all the different license usage information. So right here, as an end user, I can see that 11 licenses of ArcGIS are used out of 15, and I have like 4 available right now. But let's say that they're all taken, like in this place, like I got one license used. How does that help me? Well, let's say I see ArcGIS, I need ArcGIS, and I see 0 licenses available. So I click on ArcGIS, and now this is as the engineer, as the end user itself. So the engineer can open this and see, oh, Stanley is using it. He's using it since, 12 p.m. He just started. Karen, she started at the morning. Maybe she's not using it anymore. Maybe I'll try and call her up. Now, when you click on it, you'll get all the information. Right now, I don't have all that information because it's not connected to my Active Directory yet. But if you have Active Directory and you're connected to it, you can get all the details in here, and the end user will see, I'll just send her an email. I'll just call her up. Maybe she can release my license. Now, this is great, but this is one benefit. Now, the other benefit is that the end user can get notified when a license he was denied from becomes available. Now, let me explain. Let's say that you were an engineer. You came into the office in the morning and you clicked on AutoCAD. You want the license, but you got denied. No more licenses left. So every sane engineer will try to get the license again and again and again and again and again and again. But he will not get the license. He got denied. There is no licenses available. There are no licenses available for him to use. So he just simply clicks again and again and again until he finds one. So this is very wasteful because you got an engineer doing pretty much nothing, just clicking on the computer for no good reason. So what can the agent do? Well, you don't have a license. You don't have to click on, you don't have to try and get a license each time because the agent will just notify you. He will tell you, hey, remember that license that you got denied from? Well, it's now free. You can try and get it. Then you can try and open the application and you will get the license. As an end user, this is priceless because it means I can go and do other things. I can work on something else. Now, it also allows the admin to get IP ranges. So you'll get the hostname and the IP if you have the agent. And of course that you will be able to use other extensions with the agent, such as the save and close, which saves your work and closes the application remotely and automatically, like running a custom command. But I'm not going to go into that because these are more in tune with the extensions of OpenLM. Today, we're just focusing on the core OpenLM product, meaning broker, server, and agent. And that's just about it. We configured a full OpenLM system in less than 25 minutes. I went over all the major things, all the major pitfalls that can happen with the installation. If you follow the installation I showed you now, you will have a clean installation, no issues at all. But if you do have any issues, if you do have any questions, please go ahead. You can ask now. There's a questions box, a chat box, which you can use, the GoToWebinar chat box. Just ask. Go ahead. I'm here, ready to answer any question you have on the subject, either things that you've seen right now or not. So Go ahead, it's your time. Yes, Jeff is asking about the OpenLM agent. Now, again, the OpenLM agent is totally free. The active agent, idle time harvesting, and all that, these are extensions. But the license usage monitoring screen, the end user interface, and the license availability notifications, they are totally free and a part of the core product. Now I have another question. Is it possible to install without the broker? Yeah, it's possible, but then you lose out on many benefits. Now, the broker monitors many files in OpenLM of the license manager. Sorry, let me go to the broker and let me show you what it actually does and what you'll miss if you won't be using it. Now, if you cannot install anything on the license manager, you're not allowed to do so, then yeah, no problem. You can connect directly. Let me show you how it's done. So let's open up Server Configuration tool. So configure OpenLM Server, start here. What you'll simply need to do is click Add, choose the type, let's say it's FlexLM. Give it a name, let's say ArcGIS. Give it the host name, Win10B, I think. And give it a port. I think it was 710. Now, if this is set, that means that OpenLM Server is not using a broker. It's going directly to the license manager and not using a broker. If this is unchecked, then that means you are using a broker. But if in that broker you had a license file configured, then you'll have to check this. So there are three stages for it. No broker, has broker but also has license file. So these are the three parts. So after this is done, you simply click Apply, Restart Now. And now when we go to the OpenLM interface and we'll do a refresh, we'll be able to see the new server. There we go, so the new server is here. It takes a while to get the information, as you've seen before. It takes between 2 to 5 minutes, but then it will connect automatically. But what do you lose? Let's see. First of all, the OpenLM Broker monitors license file, meaning that you will lose on license expiry information. You will lose a package information. You will lose any licensing pools that you have. Maybe you have multiple pools for the same vendor. So you will lose out on that. You won't have any licensing information. You'll only have what is taken from the port itself, meaning here. So much better to use the broker because then you get expiration date, packages, and all that. It monitors the debug log, and debug logs allows you to see denials and allows you to validate the information. So if you're not using a broker, the data itself is the same. It works on the data inquiry. It reads from it, but it doesn't validate the data with the debug log because it doesn't have a debug log to compare with. So it's always better to add it. Then you'll also have denials. Also, the options file. If you don't have a broker, you cannot configure the options file, meaning that all the option file rules, you won't see them in OpenLM. All the groups and users, you won't see them in OpenLM. And lastly, the broker buffers information. The broker itself buffers all the information, meaning that, let's say there is a loss of connection, so the broker will store the information. It will store the information until connection is established again. Then it will just send out all the information from its buffer file to the OpenLM server. So many benefits if you do use a broker. You lose out on many benefits if you don't use a broker. It's suggested, but if you don't have any way to install the broker on the licensed server, then go ahead, connect directly, and but know that you won't see denials. You might have gaps in your data because of connection losses and so on. So best practice, use a broker. Oh, hey, Philip. Yeah, you're a bit late. Okay, you're welcome. So, anyone else have any question regarding OpenLM? Okay, so I'm gonna take like another few minutes, give you some time to ask questions. But if nothing comes up to mind, then you can either call us up by chat, you can send us an email, or you can just call us over the phone. Let me show you how to do so. So if you go to the OpenLM website, most of you probably don't know the Have a Question button right here. Click on it, and you'll get either a support or a sales representative, depending what you need, by chat. So the chat is the best way to contact us. It rings all over the offices, all across the world. Just use that. It's the best way to contact us if you have any questions. But you can also go to the Contact Us right here and just use any of the numbers to call us up. We'll be happy to assist you. And of course, you can send an email to support@openlm.com or sales@openlm.com. Also, we'll be happy to help you. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Hope this was informative. I hope this was not too technical and didn't go too deep. Let me know if you have any questions. No problem, Brian. Okay. So if no one has any more questions, I would thank you very much. Thank you, Detlev, Gene, Marcus, Philip. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye, guys.